Hello everyone, my name is Greg. In this video I am going to talk about physical and spiritual. I'm doing this largely because people like Gary and his friend Kendall and the Hellfire and Brimstone Christians want to babble about their threat of hell. And they want to act like, I believe this because this pisses me off, and I don't. In the aspect of their afterlife, no, I don't, because it's impossible. The concept of a hell being a lake of fire, being a place of fire, being a place of torture, is actually impossible. Because what they're showing is these people that will pound their Bible and act how spiritual they are, they're addicted to this. They can't let go of this. They can't think of anything but this. In that regard, they're no different from atheists, agnostics, the rest of us, that what we understand definitively, without question, is this, physical. However, this hell bullshit is not something that a person would experience before they're dead. It is a place you would go after death, according to Christianity. After you're dead, this is done. Christians, Gary, you stupid jackass, this rots away. There is nothing, it becomes worm food. As your Bible puts it, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7, the flesh returns to the earth from which it came, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. This aspect of spiritual, it is largely, at least as far as anything definitive, it's a puff of smoke and a grassy knoll. There are ideas, religious-wise, as to what it could be. There is also, to use the term New Age, ideas of what it could be. And you're going to see pictures of what is termed the spiritual body, or in some other terms it's termed the light body, and other terms it's the energy body. And as I had pointed out in a previous video, we are energy beings. You can test this scientifically by holding a voltmeter. You would see that the body does produce an electrical current. Now, the thing is, the idea of spiritual existence, for those that want to try and say they believe in a God, that they believe in some kind of, to use the term, spiritual can relate to supernatural as well. I have, in a sense, the Webster's definition of spiritual. Number 1, of or relating to, consisting of or affecting the spirit. 2a, of or relating to sacred matters. 2b, ecclesiastical rather than lay or temporal. Number 3, concerned with religious values. 4, related or joined in spirit. 5a, of or relating to supernatural beings or phenomena. 5b, of or relating to or involving spiritualism, spiritualistic. There is the aspect I had looked under, and this link will be in the description bar below for those that want to read the full bullshit on this. It is a website called BibleTools.org, where it says about Satan's heresy that you shall not die was expanded. The claims that we were already immortal, so death has no real hold over us. This idea proposed at the very beginning has thrived throughout history. Mainstream Christianity calls the doctrine of immortality of the soul while various Eastern religions contain it in beliefs such as reincarnation, the first thing I want to point out with what they're saying there is the idea that this Adam and Eve would have been immortal prior to eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That is an assumption based on facts, not in evidence. They're assuming that because of this, you will die if you do this. But if you don't know what the word die means, if you don't know what death means, it would be like saying, if you watch this video, blah, 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 do you know what I just said? Did I say anything? Without a definition, without a meaning for blah, 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 it wouldn't matter. You would be, so what? If you don't have an understanding, the knowledge of good and bad, positive and negative, if you don't have the definition and the basis for what is being expressed, what is being expressed will be meaningless. It's an empty threat. And that's another aspect where we can see that the God is human. It engages in threats. Something that is eternal, something that is all-powerful, something that is, to use the term, a God, wouldn't have the need to be going around threatening people. The threatening of others is an action we see from tyrants. It is an action that is very human. It is an action that shows how that person is operating from a very weak mindset. That they know they themselves can't get people to go along with their program just on the face of the program, so they have to threaten people with suffering or torture if they don't do what they want. This is a sign of weakness. This is not a sign of strength. You do not show you are strong by brutalizing a child. Any adult can brutalize a child. You don't show you're strong just because you can do it. Just because you can brutalize a child doesn't mean that it's good to do so. Gary, the ability to do nasty, vile shit doesn't mean that it's good for you to do that. Where you show you have power is, yes, I could make the choice to do that, but I choose not to. This is where Christians really get fucked up. They think the ability to make a choice means you have a disposition towards doing what is evil. This is mental illness. This shows where they are a danger to society. This is why I get pissed off at what they say, because it is showing that they are a danger to society, that they are a danger to children, that they are a danger to anyone not a mirror of them. That is what I care about. I don't give a damn about your delusional disorders. It really means nothing to me. But this idea of heresy, it is something that was common with the church during the Inquisitions, which is another reason why people like Gary want to say about why do I get pissed off at the hell bullshit. The Inquisitions lasted nearly 1,000 years. And anyone accused of being a witch, a heretic, or whatnot, was tortured to death. And in case anybody is confused as to what is heresy, the idea that it is just saying something against the church, that's part of it. But here is the Webster's definition of heresy. 1A, adherence to a religious opinion contrary to the church, dogma. 1B, denial of a revealed truth by a baptized member of the Roman Catholic Church. So according to the definition of 1b, any Christian that has an idea that is in denial of a revealed truth by a baptized member of the Roman Catholic Church is a heretic. Gary, you really should know how a word is defined if you want to start running your fucking mouth about things being heresies or blasphemies. I'll get to blasphemies, by the way. But 2a, dissent or deviation from a dominant theory, opinion, or practice. 2b, an opinion, doctrine, or practice contrary to the truth or to the generally accepted beliefs or standards. It is all based on church bullshit. It's not based on evidence. It's not based on facts. It's not based on anything real. It is based on the ideas of a church or a church member. The ideas of other people don't mean shit to me. So the idea of, you're a heretic, so what? My thoughts are different than yours. But blasphemy is another one you hear Christians babble frequently. The definition of blasphemy, 1a, the act of insulting or showing contempt or lack of reverence for God. 1b, the act of claiming the attributes of a deity. 2, irreverence towards something considered sacred. And this is just bullshit. It is the idea of just because you say things or you have an opinion that is contrary to the God bullshit. Some human defined it as that. But this idea of spiritual, it's not the same as physical. The idea that is mentioned, and I think it's mentioned in this stupid website about the flesh being evil and the spirit being good, that's bullshit. Because the idea of that you can have good without evil, or you can have evil without good. No, you can't. Because without the evil, you would have nothing by which to say that this is good. Without the ability to make the choice between two things, you don't have freedom at all. You don't have free will at all. In order to be able to make the choice, you have to be able to have a choice. And choice is what Christians really don't want. And when I say Christians, I mean the fundamentalists. I'm not talking most of the people that are pew-warming Christians that never even crack their own Bible, that don't even know what's in the fucking book. To me, those people, they don't even hit my radar. The fundamentalists that want to try and act like the earth is only 6,000 years old and that everyone is horrible and so forth because you make one false move, all of this is immoral. All of this is based on a mindset of control and dominance. It is also based on a very physical obsession. They don't look at what is, to use the term, spiritual or energy, because you can't really definitively define that. This is why, in a lot of ways, the atheist mindset is a better mindset, because it deals with what can you prove, what can you substantiate with some evidence, what reason do you have to think this or that is true. If it's just a flight of fancy that you have, so what? Why should anyone else care? You might want to have flights of fancy in different areas. You may want to have different fantasies about this or that, so what? Your fantasies don't matter to me. I mean, you may fantasize about all kinds of things. I don't care. It doesn't affect my world. It doesn't affect me in the slightest. So, just because you think something, so what? That is not a reason why I should, or anyone else for that matter. And it is not moral for you, whoever you are, to run around and say, if you don't think like me, you should be tortured. That's evil. That's sick. You do not show that you're good by inflicting suffering on another just because they didn't think like you were, because, as Gary puts it, they mock God. And no, they're not mocking your God, Gary. They're mocking you. They're not making fun of your God, Gary. They're making fun of you. There's a difference. Your God is fantasy. You are the one being laughed at. And that's what you don't like. Not that they're laughing at your God, not that they're calling your God absurd, but they're calling you absurd. This is all about ego, Gary. As well as Kendall. It's all ego. And because your ego is bruised, you want to see others tortured. That shows how you are a Nazi Christian. Or I could also put it as, you have the Inquisition mindset. No matter how you look at it, you're acting like a tyrant. You're not showing that you're good, but by your own lights, you're not good. You revel in the fact that you are wicked to the core. That's a choice. It is a choice you make. It is not something that you have to be. You don't have to be a damn thing. You choose to act like an asshole. Being an asshole, like you are, is a choice. If you don't want to be an asshole, you can choose to change your behavior. But the choice is yours. And no one is going to torture you for the choices you make. You reap what you sow, cause and effect, karma. You will torture you. Your negativity will produce more negativity. And your life will suck because of what you are doing. You are thinking a Jesus died. Doesn't mean a damn thing. You can think a Jesus died all you want. When you're, after drinking a case of beer, you're still going to have a hangover at the very least, if not puking in the toilet. It doesn't matter what you think. Your actions produce results. If you don't like the results that your actions produce, change your actions. But there is a clear difference between physical and, to use the term spiritual, or energy. And I would suggest Christians learn the difference. This is Greg.